Hey everyone, it's Andrea, aka Girl Vamonos, and in this video I'm going to make that delicious pastry you see in this video. It's called a Maritozzo. I had it in Rome. It was the most delicious pastry I've ever had. It's basically just like a sweet kind of dough, and it has some whipped cream inside. Anyways, this is a video of me trying to recreate that. It was not as good, but I will link the video that I try to follow in the instructions below. All right, y'all, let's get started. So I did watch a YouTube video of a real Italian, okay? And the person was making this video. He was a chef making these Maritozzi, and he was speaking Italian. So this was the best that I could do based on his video. I am not a chef or anything. Obviously, as you can see at this point, I still did not have a scale, but in this step, he basically puts together a portion of the flour and water and some yeast, and he just lets it ferment for a couple of minutes, and this is going to be the starting dough for your recipe. The next thing you'll want to do is turn your oven light on, put it in a warm place for 2 hours. I put yeast, water, and flour into this jar and proofed it in the oven with just the oven light on. And as you can see, the yeast is like super bubbly. So we're gonna start by mixing all of our ingredients, and I don't have a stand mixer, but I do have a food processor, and I've made dough and a bunch of stuff in here all the time, and it works perfect. So don't worry if you don't have a stand mixer. If you want to do it by hand, you can totally do that too. So I'm gonna put the final ingredients in the comments. So don't, like, if I say what I'm putting in it right now, it might not be the final, just in case I have to make some edits. But basically, all together, you're going to need 2 cups and 1/8 of flour. I already used about 1/4 of a cup for this, so I'll only be putting like 1.5 cups into the current dough because I already used 1/4 in the other starter. You're going to want some lukewarm milk, so I'll add that in here. 3 eggs. 3 uovi. Perfetto. So we're gonna want a little bit of honey, about 1 tablespoon. So we're basically going to mix all of the ingredients minus the olive oil and the salt, and we'll add those at the very end. So this is my starter. Scoop it out. The yeast starter sat in the oven with the light on for 2 hours. So we're gonna mix this, and this will probably also sit for another 2 hours, but because it is quick rice, you might not need a whole 2 hours. Okay, so mix. We're about to add the sugar. Okay, we're gonna need about 1/4 of a cup. Okay, so you can either use lemon zest or orange zest. I don't have oranges on hand, but personally, if I had an orange, I'd probably use that over lemon, but this is what I have, so that's what I'm gonna use. You wanna add some vanilla. I think it would be best to add like vanilla paste if you have any, but your girl doesn't have any right now. And you wanna do about a tablespoon. I don't have a tablespoon. I'm not gonna get everything dirty, I'm just gonna measure with this. This is going to be my little secret, but I'm gonna just put like just a very tiniest pinch of cinnamon, just to like add some depth. Porque soy mexicana and we like to make it unique and flavorful. Okay, let's try that. The batter is pretty wet. I feel like I'm gonna need more flour. So, we'll see. Like you want it to come away from the bowl a little bit as you're mixing, so it doesn't, you don't want it to be super wet, you want it to be like dough. And I am using a bread flour, but you can use all-purpose as well. Now sometimes it doesn't work out, so you just gotta adjust along the way. Like a quarter cup of olive oil. Now the dough kind of come away from the bowl a little bit as you're mixing. Okay, so I'm gonna clean all of this up and I'm gonna put the dough onto the counter and roll it a little bit. All right, so we're gonna start by flouring our surface. All right, so I forgot to add the salt on camera, so I ended up adding it off camera at the end with the olive oil, but basically I got my hands wet because this is gonna help the dough from sticking a little bit less. So you just want to kind of roll it into itself like this, fold it over and roll it in. And we're gonna just let it also sit for another few hours, let the dough rise again, and then we're gonna cut it into our little Maritozzi and bake it. It's and I added it to an oiled bowl. I'm just gonna kind of mix it in the oil so that the outside is oiled and not dry. Perfetto. E così carini, no? I said it's pretty cute, isn't it? Hey everyone, what's up? So I let my dough rest overnight in the refrigerator. I took it out about 2 hours ago so that it can, or about an hour ago, so that it can rise a little bit more in like room temperature. But basically you can either put it in the fridge overnight or you can let it sit on the counter for about 2 hours before you start handling the dough again. And like the number one thing with making bread is just know it's gonna be like an all day thing. You're going to have to like let it rise so many times. So I'm going to form it into like little dough balls like the Maritozzi, and I'm gonna let them rest again. So let's do it. First, I took this tip that I didn't do yesterday, but I'm gonna do today. Sift the flour so that it's like a nice fluffy surface. Okay, so this is my entire dough. It's so beautiful and amazing. Like, I don't even want to mess it up, so I'm just gonna start cutting it from here. This is not good for cutting dough. So I'm gonna do half of this. So this is as much as I'm going to use, so I'm gonna make them pretty small, but it's up to you how you wanna do them. So I'm just gonna like literally take them and fold them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, using my Italian counting now, but you just like fold it into itself a bunch of times and make a little ball. And basically when you fold it in, you're creating air bubbles inside the dough, and that's gonna create like a really fluffy Maritozzi like once it rises again. So I'm just gonna set them up on my tray, and we're just gonna repeat. Like, it's gonna take time, but it's gonna be amazing. cute. But I think this is like more like palm sized a little bit. This is the ones I was making. So really, I mean, they're almost about the same size, but I'm making them just a little bit smaller. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit. Cover your dough like this. You can use saran wrap, and we're using it from last night, or you can use a like clean kitchen towel, but you're just gonna cover them. Let them sit for maybe another hour, and then we're gonna be back and we're gonna put them in the oven, and we're gonna make our panna, which is basically whipped cream, to fill these with, and they're gonna be amazing. All right, we're going to make the whipped cream right now. So I could not find regular heavy cream at the grocery store. So I had to buy this homemade vanilla whipping cream. So it's basically, I think it's heavy cream with some vanilla in it, and there's definitely sugar in here. But I will put an alternate recipe. If you're going to just use regular heavy cream, you're going to wanna probably put a little bit of sugar in it, but not too much, honestly, because like the panna in the bread itself is like not typically very sweet. So I'm going to prepare it in my food processor. If you don't have a food processor, you have one of those stand mixers, you can go ahead and use that, but use the whisk attachment. If you don't have either of those two, you can use like a hand mixer with the whisk attachment. It's just gonna take a while and it's gonna be kind of tedious, but I usually just make my whipped cream in here because I am lazy. Or I'm not lazy, girl, I'm not lazy. I'm just like, I prefer to work smarter, not harder. So, all right guys, so I brushed my little dough balls, Maritozzi, with egg wash. And I'm just gonna stick it in the oven because guys, like, I gotta hurry up, so I can't be like recording everything. I'm gonna burn myself, but yeah, there they go. Into an oven that's 350, maybe about 10 minutes till they're golden, so let's see. Buongiorno. Does anybody ever just sit in front of the oven and watch your food bake? Like, look at how freaking cute they look. They're so perfect. My little babies. My little precious. Bruh. All right, guys, I'm gonna fill up the Maritozzi. Honestly, the whipped cream is absolute trash. So I'm just gonna only do a couple of them with the whipped cream. So yeah, I don't like this whipped cream because I had made it so that it was perfectly fluffy, and then when I came back to it, it was totally flat. So I think it has like some additional ingredients that I don't think should be in like your whipped cream that like basically didn't allow it to hold its shape. So you're gonna take a spatula or a flat knife, take the flat end, and basically smooth it out. It's like already looking so perfect. Like that. Take the excess off. I mean, they look so cute. And then you're gonna take some powdered sugar. So you're gonna put powdered sugar into a sift. And I think I'll just leave it as it is here. Wow. They look so cute. Let me get the bottom of this one. Aren't they perf? Voila. Right. Now for the big reveal. Don't look at my nail polish, it is messed up. Definitely not like Italy. The bread is nice and fluffy. One thing I do remember about it is that it wasn't overly sweet. And so far I'm really getting that. It's like not sweet, it's just like kind of a cream puff. I think I could use more whipped cream for sure. But hopefully you guys like it.